Dash and Lily, dash, dash and Lily, dash and Lily, dash, dash and Lily. Hello guys, and welcome. I have so much energy, sorry. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I need to catch my breath. Today I'm bringing you guys another review, and as you can see by the title, today's review is on the Netflix series Dash and Lily, dash, dash and Lily. So let's get started. However, before we get started, y'all know as usual, I over the storylines, over the characters and all of that. And because of that, a spoiler alert is in effect. Now for real, let's get started. Okay, so I literally just watched this. You just finished watching it, okay? So I'm still amped up because the emotions are still fresh. So this video is probably going to be a little extra, but you know what? We love to see it. So let's start with what this series is about. Opposites attract at Christmas as cynical Dash and sunny Lily trade messages and dares in a red notebook they pass back and forth around New York City. So from the beginning of this episode, we are able to tell that Dash dislikes Christmas while Lily loves it, okay?
You asked how this time of year makes me feel, so I know you'll understand when I say...
He hates Christmas.
Get out of my room!
It's the most detestable time of the year. The forced cheer, the frenzied crowds.
So these are two complete opposites, which is going to make this a little bit interesting. We'll see how this is going to work out since y'all are two. But you know what they say, opposites, they what? Attract. So, Lily and her brother come up with this book that they make, and then they put it in like the library, and Dash comes across it, okay? And that's how this whole thing gets, you know, popping.
Imagine you're in New York and it's Christmas. You're in your favorite bookstore, and there is a red notebook. Do you dare?
And I must say that the two of them had a lot of time in their hands, okay, to be out here constructing this notebook, leaving all these clues. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of brain power. I don't have time for that, okay? But the first episode solely focuses on Dash. We don't even see Lily until the last scene of the first episode, okay? So there's technically two intros. Like the first two episodes are technically the intro for the series. The first episode we learn all about Dash, and the second episode we learn all about Lily. Oh, and towards the end of the first episode, we also find out that Dash and Lily actually did bump into each other quite literally, you know, a little bit before the whole thing started to happen, okay? So that's what makes things a little bit more interesting, because, you know, they know each other, but they don't know each other, that type of thing, you know, but they technically don't know each other, because it was a little, oh, I'm sorry, bump, move on with life, you know what I mean? But it made things a little more, oh, you know, I was intrigued. After the first episode, I was intrigued. I was like, I want to see more. I'm about to watch this, okay? It has 8 episodes. Each episode is about 23 minutes long, so it's not that long of a series, but I love that. And the first episode had me hooked. I wanted to see what's going to happen with this notebook, what's going to happen with their exchanges, how this whole journey is going to unfold, what's going to take place, what obstacles are going to be in the way. So the characters, I didn't know the actors behind the characters before this series. Lily looked familiar, but I couldn't quite, you know, put my finger on it, so I had to like Google her, and then I found out that she was on Ocean's 8, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the character. So I knew her from Ocean's 8, okay, but everybody else, I didn't quite know them, but that was good, you know, because then I didn't have like expectations per se. It was a clean slate, you know, so I could judge them solely based on the characters and not my expectations of what the actor behind the character is, you know, what they know for doing. But I did see that the dude that plays Dash was in Euphoria. I wouldn't know that because I have not watched enough of Euphoria to, you know, I didn't see him. I only watched the first 10 minutes of the first episode, so, but apparently he was in Euphoria as well. But I really, oh my gosh, the characters, guys. My favorite character had to be Boomer, though.
Okay, Boomer.
Boomer Boomer just came through. Guys, Boomer was my guy. Boomer, I was like, when there's trouble, who you gonna call? Boomer, you know what I mean? Like, Boomer was always there. He was helping out. He was on the way, you know, because he was the link between the two of them, you know, because he is Dash's best friend, but he does meet Lily and then keeps giving Lily a few hits and little, you know, just, oh my gosh, Boomer, guys. But oh my god, I love the characters, all of them. Oh my gosh, Dash. A girl was here for Dash. Okay, I was low-key obsessed with his hair. I'm like, why is your hair so nice? And Lily was so cute. Lily was so cute. And then there are like other supporting characters like Sophia and Edgar and the parents and the grandparents and Lily's godmother and all of them. There's a lot of characters, a lot of supporting characters, but I just loved everybody. Oh my gosh, we also have Lily's brother. Yeah, Lily has an older brother. Oh my gosh, guys, I love these characters so much. First of all, what you should know is that the series is based off a book. I'm not sure whether it's a single book or if it's a series of books. I don't know. I still have to search that up. But it's based off a book or books. She's about to read that because the series is nice. I want to read the book. And so at some point, you know, he finds out Lily's name, right? But Lily doesn't know his name. And then he's like, he's not going to tell her his name because his name is like very obvious, like not everybody has that name, Dash, you know. So then he's like, okay, here's a hint. His name is a connector of words. I don't know why it took me so long to get it. I was like, I was sitting there, I knew his name was Dash, but I was just sitting there like a connector of words. And it hit me like 5 minutes in. I'm like, Dash. The thing is, in my head, the definition of dash that I had was like, you know, fast, you're dashing away. So I forgot about the dash. So when he said a connector of words, I was like, that don't make sense. Until afterwards, I was like, dash. And then at some point, I was thinking that good thing Lily's parents had gone to Fiji for a while, because had her parents been here, she wouldn't have been able to get away with what she was doing, you know, because she was out and about at like 2 a.m. and all of that, you know. I was like, she wouldn't have been able to get away with such, okay, being a 17-year-old, okay, and get away with that. No. And as I was thinking that, the grandpapa done come back from vacation, and I was like, ooh, you're busted. So by the end of the 5th episode, I was like, Dash is out here just taking himself deeper and deeper into this complicated hole that he is in with Sophia. Sophia being his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, girl, don't entertain. I was just like, brother, don't entertain this girl because you were just digging yourself into a grave. Episode 6 is where I started getting stressed. That is when my blood sugar levels started to skyrocket, okay? The frustration was real. Because that is the episode where they both go to a party with 2 separate dates, but then they end up meeting there. However, they didn't think to be like, oh, let's ask names first. So then Lily gets Dash's name, but then Sophia comes through and interrupts. And I'm just like, y'all meet, but y'all don't really meet. And I was just like, oh, what is this? At the party, okay, they play Truth or Dare, right? And I don't know why, but for me, that scene where they play Truth or Dare really looked and sounded like the PG version of the Truth or Dare scene and after. And yeah. Yeah, like it kind of just sounds like the dialed down version of the Truth or Dare scene, and after there were just a lot of similarities in the outcome and the questions asked and all of that. Okay, so at this party, right, Lily comes over to this party and her date is Edgar, who used to be her bully in middle school, if I remember correctly, right? So I was just looking at this Edgar and I'm like, you meaning to tell me that this dude is 17 years old? Episode 7 though, the frustration just continued. And then at some point, Dash finds out that Boomer knew Lily, but Boomer didn't tell Dash that he knew Lily, and how Dash be mad at Boomer because Boomer didn't say anything. I'm like, why you gonna be mad at Boomer? The whole point of the game was for you guys not to know who's the other person. So as far as I know, Boomer was playing the game to the G. Then the final episode, guys, I'm watching, right? Enjoying life, watching, trying to see what's gonna happen. And the next thing, who do I see? The Jonas Brothers! Like, I haven't seen the Jonas Brothers together in a show since Jonas LA. So, like, seeing them all that, and like, it's so funny for me because, like, each brother has been my favorite at different points in time. You know, like, back in, like, the Camp Rock days, you know, Jonas time, Jonas LA, when they were doing those shows. If you asked me who was my favorite Jonas brother, I would have said Joe, without a doubt, okay, without a doubt. Then they broke up, right? Of course, and then Nick went over to have his solo career, and then there was DNCE and all of that. If you had asked me during that era, I would have said Nick Jonas without a doubt. But if you ask me now, babes, it's Kevin. Kevin is so underappreciated. He is, like, guys, y'all be sleeping on Kevin. I was sleeping on Kevin too. I'm just like, Kevin. But Kevin's my favorite right now. I was like, oh gosh, what, to see the Jonas Brothers? I was like, oh, but Lily's brother was stressing me out in the final episode. I'm like, give her the notebook. Give it to her. Get it. No, brother's not giving the notebook. You're gonna put it in the cupboard. Oh, but man, what a journey. Oh, man. Like, this series is predictable. The ending is predictable. But, like, the journey to get there gives you heart palpitations. I was just like, oh my gosh. I just wanted to see. Like, I could have predicted the ending, but I wouldn't. Like, there are a lot of things that I could not have predicted that happened throughout this series. I was just like, a lot happens in 8 episodes. I mean, this is only like 4 hours, but a lot happens, man. Woo! Like, a lot happens. Wow. But no, I really like the series. I'll definitely watch it again. And to think that it's a Christmas-themed series, I usually don't like Christmas-themed anything. Movie, series, all of that. They're usually very tacky, very boring, very predictable, very, like, I'm tired. It's the most wonderful time. And then it snows in the end. Woo, the end. Like, I'm tired. But this one, man. Oh gosh, it was really good. It was really good. I'll definitely watch it again. I'm probably gonna watch it again because babes, it's worth watching again. I low-key want a second season though. Like, I low-key want a second season, but what is the second season gonna be about though? Nobody knows. But I low-key want one. But if the second one's not gonna be as good as this one, then they can somehow just leave it alone. But this entire series was a classic case of serendipity, okay? Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, hey, you know. Y'all know what I mean? But yeah, now I'm tired. Okay, so let's wrap this up. On that note, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. Until